Here we go, esimstudios.app. So let's jump into, since you want to know about the Z Flip. So the Z Flip, let me go ahead and select the article. So the Z Flip 6, so it's going to look relatively the same. It has about 95% the same design language as the Z Flip 5. So what does that mean? That means it's basically going to look the same. However, it's going to have more it's going to have more flat sides. The Z Flip 5 was relatively flat around the device, right? So when you look at this device, it was more, the Z Flip 6 will look just like the S24 Plus, where it's basically completely flat on the sides. The Z Flip 5 was mostly flat on the sides. This new Flip 6 is going to be 100% flat all around the sides. Sort of how iPhone is, sort of how the S24 Plus is, right? Now, so just looking at it, it won't be much of a change. However, behind the scenes, underneath the glass in plastic that you see here, it will be. They're overhauling their camera system. So you're going to get the same 50 megapixel camera setup that you get, the same camera setup that you have on the S24 Plus. I point to y'all because I'm recording on an S24 Plus. The same 50 megapixel sensors and 12 megapixel sensors that come on the S24 Plus are going to be on this Z Flip 6. And that is huge because in the past, the Z Flip 5 and previous year models, they were using an old 12 megapixel sensor that was about 4 or 5 years old. Now they're up, and that was one of the only negatives about the Flip series that I did not like was their camera setup, right? Didn't take that good of photos. The photo quality improved over the years just because Samsung's computational photography got better. That means after you take a picture, when it processes for a split second, their servers, their computational, their computing got better at processing that image. Now they're going to beef up the actual sensor, so it will take much better photos, which is always a plus, right? It's going to have better UFS storage. It's going to have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. It's going to have just a teeny tiny, a little bit bigger battery. The outside display is going to get a little higher resolution. It's going to stay the same design, but you're going to see subtle refinements that's going to make it badass. Because when I used the Z Flip 5, I was like, I loved the phone, minus one or two major aspects that was kind of bugging me. One was the photo quality. Now, the Z Flip 5 was $1,000, right? And that was the 8 gigabyte of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. I believe they did a base of 256. So it was 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. This year, not only are they going to upgrade the cameras, not only are they going to get a tiny little bit bigger battery and better resolution on the outer display, but you're going to get better UFS storage. They're cranking that. They're stepping that up. You're also going to get a base 12 gigabytes of RAM. That's going to make all the difference in the world. Those of y'all that don't look, it makes a difference, right? Especially now with the apps getting as big as they are. Especially if you're not one that cleans your app drawer out. I mean, your recent apps out. It's huge. This is going to be huge in the usability of this device. So more RAM, more storage, a little bit bigger battery, better resolution on the outer display, and all new camera system, right? Now here's the downside to the Z Flip 6. Womp. It's going to cost more. We got news today that the Z Flip 6 was going to cost more. So I don't know if this has to do with inflation. I don't know if this has to do with putting premium parts in the device, meaning, look, they're putting new camera sensors in there, which cost Samsung more money to manufacture this device. So if they don't want that to cut into their profits over the previous year, they're going to have to increase the price a little bit to offset the revenue, the profit that they make per device, correct? And totaling their overall revenue for the Z Flip 6 series. So we do get a price increase, which sucks, but let's see how much they're going to cost. So the price of the Z Flip 6 has leaked. The 256 gig model, the base variant with 12 gigs of RAM, is going to be $1,099, which was an increase of roughly $100 over the previous year, which was started off at a base price of $999, roughly $1,000 this on the Z Flip 5, and then $1,100 for the Z Flip 6. So regardless of how this price increase came from, it's probably a mixture of both. Probably has to do with inflation. Probably has to do with them putting more premium parts in there, which again, manufacturing cost rises. Well, they're going to have to increase the cost for the consumer as well to get that little profit, to maximize the profit per device, correct? Now, the 512 gig variant is going to be a whopping $1,200. Roughly 119. Well, officially we have it listed here, $1,219, which is $119 over, or $120 over the 256 gig variant, right? It is what it is. So they're planning their Unpacked event in July to unveil the Flip 6 and the Fold 6, right? According to a new report, with OnLeaks, who is probably the most popular leaker of technology products, mainly Android devices, they got a new leak saying the two storage variant configurations, 256 and 512, are going to cost $1099 and $1219 respectively. Increase of roughly $100 over the previous models. This is going to weigh 187 grams and have a 6. I don't know if it's going to have a 6.7 inch display. I think it's going to have a 6.8 or 6.9 because it's so tall and skinny. Let me see what last year's. Hang on. Let me see what last year's. I might have gotten that information wrong. Z Flip 5 GSM Arena. Let's compare the specs. So this is last year's. You see how it's a little, it looks mainly flat, but it's a little rounded on the sides. This year it's going to be completely flat. Okay, see, it is 6.7. So I was mistaken. So well, no, I got it right. Okay. We got colors as well. We have colors that leaked. These are official as well. The colors are going to be mint, which is I believe it's a carryover. It should look something like this. You're also going to have a silver shadow, which it will be a silver, yellow, a blue, a craft black, which is going to be an online exclusive, a peach color, another Samsung online exclusive, and a white color, which is another Samsung online exclusive, meaning you can only get those colors from Samsung.com. You cannot get them from at&t, T-Mobile, or Verizon. That means this new Flip 6 is not going to be available in the Flip 5 colors, which was cream, graphite, gray, green, and lavender. Never liked those colors in the first place, right? So I think this year you'll have a little bit of choice to pick from when it comes to the colors, but you will see a price increase. Now, let's go to the Z Fold 6, right? Because we also got a price increase on there, unfortunately. So this one's a real kicker, right? This one's expensive as hell. This one's going to be super expensive. Where did I put the price down here? Damn it, I got the wrong shit on here. I'm gonna have to go back and edit this. Hang on. Let me see if I can find the price and we'll put it up here, and then I'll go back and correct it once we're done. Oh, here we go. I know where to get it from. So the price of the Z Fold 6. Wow. Y'all see that? Are y'all witnessing this? Z Fold 6. The base model. Base model is going to be $18.99. Last year it was $17.99. So last year it was $1,800 just to get the cheapest Fold 6 possible, right? 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. Last year it was basically $1,800. This year it's gonna be $1,900 for the base model. Now, the most expensive version of this Z Fold 6 for the 1 terabyte model is going to be $2,259. $2,259 rough, and that's without taxes. So roughly $2,260. Now with taxes, depending on where you're at, but this is real world scenario, right? Let me give you an idea of what we're looking at. So $1,900. So if you're here in Texas like I am, and let's say you buy a Z Fold 6, now $1,900 times our tax rate here in Texas is 8.25%. So just for the base model alone, you're going to be paying over $2,000. So for the 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gig variant, with taxes, you're going to be paying $2,056. For the loaded model, oh my goodness, you're going to be paying just shy of $2,500. $2,500 for the Z Fold 6 for the 1 terabyte model. $2,500. Yikes. And that's not including cases as well, or any accessories you buy for that, right? Ooh-wee. That's expensive, guys. That's very, very expensive. Wow. So did we get colors for that too? I don't think we did. No, I don't. Oh, yeah. Here we go. So the colors have also been mentioned with the launch option, said to be navy, silver, shadow, and pink. So you're going to get 3 choices. Navy, which is a dark blue, kind of like this shirt I got on. Silver shadow, which is a weird name. And then pink. Wait, why are they doing pink? I know they're doing it for the women, but did that many women use a Z Fold 6? I'm assuming so. Look, Samsung's done their homework, and they know probably better than anybody. I didn't know it was that popular amongst women, but maybe I'm wrong. I have been mistaken before, so interesting. Now their foldable event, unpacked event, Samsung's unpacked event is going to be on July 10th, which is here in just a few weeks. Now they're pushing up the launch date of the Z Flip 6 and Z Fold 6 this year compared to last year's because they're trying to launch this device before the Summer Olympics start in Paris. Samsung is the major sponsor for all the Summer Olympic Games, and they want to get these devices out before the Olympics start because they have an ad campaign that's going to basically gift each and every Olympic athlete a Z Fold 6 or a Z Flip 6 amongst other Samsung products. But just watch during the Olympics, you'll see a ton of Samsung advertisements, banners all over the place. So Samsung's going to basically be a main sponsor for the Olympics, and they wanted to get this device out and before the Olympics started, and get these devices in the Olympic athletes' hands, right? So be on the lookout for that.